Thank you for showing interest in our videos. If you want to get more connected with our videos, you may want to subscribe and also want to press the bell icon so you start getting notifications for our all new content upload.
Hi Soumya, how are you doing?
I'm good, Seema. How are you doing?
I'm good, thank you. And you are preparing for ACP. So how is
Yeah,
your
I'm
preparation
preparing.
going on?
Yeah, I'm daily spending 3 hours of time for this preparation, and I booked the slot. It's nearby. It's just hardly 1 month of time. So I'm taking the simulation exams and going through the materials and going through the Saket videos and just going on. Yeah.
Great. So you have some questions on agile estimations. So we are here to discuss those queries. And for viewers,
Yeah.
right now I am with Soumya. She is preparing for ACP, and here we are going to discuss her queries related to agile estimations. Yes, Soumya, what are your queries?
Seema, yeah, the questions I have already posted that in the forum. Uh, okay,
You can
one
take
second.
and
I'll
type
just
those questions.
okay. Um, just give me a minute. It's just coming here. So my first question is like, what's the difference between the ideal days and the story points estimations? The the main difference, like the both will be used to size the user story, but what is the difference of this major difference of having this ideal days and the story points, and when we have to use ideal days and when we have to use the story point estimations?
Okay. So have you gone through the video?
And who will yeah, and the second point is like, who will decide the which estimation technique that we need to follow for sizing that user story? On what basis, on what records? That is what. Did you get the point? What I want to ask? Okay.
Yes, yes, yes. So these questions are coming from the videos which you have gone through already, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So
Yes. 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 Yes.
both the story points and ideal days are size-based estimations. Both
Yes.
estimate the work in size. Now, what is this size? The size of a user story means how much work is getting done. It includes discussion,
Yes.
like what amount of work it includes, what are the associated risks, and what is the complexity of the work. Right. Now come to the story
Okay.
point estimation. In story point, we estimate the work with a timeless unit. Actually, it has no unit. Timeless unit. We estimate size.
Okay.
Yes. So if we measure the work with a timeless unit, what we need, how to decide an estimation in story points. For that, we need a reference work. Here, this story point estimation is based on relative ranking. We have two work with us, and we compare the size of a work with the size of other work. So this comparison, using that comparison, we come up with the story point estimation. So we can use, yes.
Yeah.
You have some questions?
Agree. Yeah. So as you said, like we'll be doing the relative ranking against one story with another one, right? So as per the defined process, there are some set of story points like numerical numbers like 1, 2, 3, 8, and all, right? So, so on what basis we are giving these points? As you said, it's a timeless unit, so we are not using any time-based time boxed. It's time box things like hours or days or something like that. So we are using the points to size that particular story, how big that story is, and how the complexity, what is the complexity and all. So so you have to suppose if your product backlog has literally 10 stories. So you have to do the relative ranking against of all the stories, right? So it takes a lot of time.
I think if you have reference stories, it's not going to take a lot of time, right? So,
Okay.
yeah. So, as I told you that we are comparing the work.
Hmm.
from one work to other work. So when
Yeah.
we are starting estimation, when we are at the initial stage of estimation, if we are not having reference work, first we need to create those reference stories, right?
Okay.
Yeah, and team need to come up with the scale, means which scale they are going to use, for which they are comfortable, like t-shirt sizing, small,
Mm-hmm.
medium, large. So when you go to the supermarket, whenever you buy any t-shirt for you, and if you communicate that medium size is suited to me, so anyone can imagine that what is your size, right? What means uh, he or she can assume that yes, this is why this is medium size fit for you. The same thing when we are sizing and giving as in like number, like medium size or large size or small size, we can get a consensus. Yes, this should be the amount of work for medium size work, and this should be the amount of work for small, and this should be the amount of work for the large. If we
Mm-hmm.
are getting this consensus, then
Yeah.
it will not take much time, because team is just comparing. They are not
Mm-hmm.
discussing that how much time it will take. They are just comparing with the reference story. This is the reference story for small, this is the reference story for medium, and this is the reference story for large. And they are picking one by one, and they are discussing that, okay, if everyone putting their mind that this is the work, this is the work it is including, and they give their size. And if there is a conflict, right, it means if I am giving small, you are giving medium, in that case you have thought of some work which I have not thought of, right?
Considered.
So
Yeah.
it gives an opportunity that why you have given medium and why I have given small, and that discussion could be facilitated, and after conflict resolution we can get a consensus. Now here, consensus is not equal to the agreement. Agreement means everyone says uh, that it is small. There could be some conflicts, but if majority of people are agreed for a size, then we can go with it. So here we have to promote a discussion that what work it will include, right? Why we are
Mm-hmm.
doing this? We are doing this that irrespective of the person who is going to do, the amount of work will be same. The customer will receive the same value.
Okay. Mm.
If I am doing this work, right, the customer will get the same value. You are doing that work, the customer will get the same value, because we are agreed that what has to be done.
Yeah.
Okay, so it will not take time. Now how to do it? The point is how to do it. And our main questions remains that what's the difference between ideal days and story points. Now
Yeah.
for that we have to see that how do we estimate in story points and how do we estimate in ideal days. Difference will come
Yes.
from there.
Okay.
Yes. So in story points, first we need to agree on the scales,
Yes.
like Fibonacci series, t-shirt sizing, or binary numbers. These are the famous scales which we can use. And
Okay.
then if you are at the initial stage, if you talk about my opinion, I will suggest that the team work together first to get the consensus on what is the medium size work,
Mm-hmm.
to create the reference stories, right? Pick a medium size work, get the consensus on it that yes, it is medium size work, and size it as a 3 if you are using Fibonacci series, or medium if you are using t-shirt sizing. No, why I am suggesting it? Because if you are taking medium size story as a reference point, at the initial stage when you are not having any other reference stories, then it will help you to compare at the both sides, larger side and the smaller size.
Yeah.
Right. Now you can see, take that reference story, which is medium, and take other stories and compare it. If it is same as the medium-sized stories which you have taken as a reference, or it is larger, or it is smaller. If it is smaller, then size it as a small, and if it is larger, then size it as a large. Okay, now you have 3 reference stories: medium work, for medium work, for large work, and for small work. Now you can compare that, yes, it is the same as small work, it is same as medium work, and it is same as larger work. If the work is smaller than small reference story, means it's too small. In that case, you can combine similar work and make it as a small. Right? And if the work is larger than large user story, then you need to decompose it if that work is going to select in the near term iterations. Right? Otherwise, it is epic and you can live with it. So here, we are the team working together to discuss only about pure sizing. Whatever. So here the focus is that what value will be received by the customer. What is the size of the work? What is the total amount of work? And considering complexity and risk. Risk are same for each and every person who are in team, and complexity is also same at the team level. So here is the pure sizing. And if we talk about ideal days, it is also an approximation of a size, but time is associated with it. Time unit is associated with it. Here we see that how many days this work will take in an ideal environment. Ideal environment means we take care of all the interruptions, right? Like meeting time, phone time, and task switching. So means whatever time we have to be associated with that work. Means we are doing only that work, and all the work, all this environment related, and all the things which are needed to develop that work are available.
Yeah.
So here we subtract all the interruptions from the elapsed time. Elapsed time means total time of that work. Total time we need to complete that work, and we remove all the interruptions from that total time. And then we get the ideal time. And here we see that, okay, we will take this many days to complete this work, these many ideal days.
Ideal days.
Yes.
So ideal days that we calculate with the, I mean, it's like not a timeless one. It's a time-based one.
Yeah. So here
the days
some correlation with efforts. In story points, there is no correlation with efforts, right?
Yeah.
Because
so
here we are considering time. So it's though it's a size-based, but still it has some inclination towards efforts. It's not pure sizing. It's not pure sizing. So difference comes from here. So to understand the difference, let's take an example. If I am estimating in story points, you are also estimating in story points, the size should be same.
Yeah.
Size should be same, because here it's just a pure size. Whatever work it will include, we have already consensus on it. Scope is already there. We have clarity of scope, but there could be some assumptions and all. And taking care of those assumptions and all, we know that what we are sizing. There is no conflict in it. If we are having conflict, then we resolve those conflicts, and then we come up with the point inside.
Okay. Yeah. That's a point. It just talks about only the complexity and the size of that particular story point. But
Yes,
whereas if we talk on the ideal days, it talks about the sizing as well as the time bound factor involved
yes,
for that particular story.
yes, yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And if we estimate in ideal days, my ideal days are never equal to your ideal
Well, to
days.
the yeah.
Yes, because my
Yes.
expertise are different from you. My
Yes.
environment is different from you. I need to go through different trial and error, right? And also, uh, if we estimate in ideal days, that getting consensus is very difficult, right?
Yeah.
Because yes, because based on the learnings, uh, my learnings are different, your learnings are different. So I take care of different assumptions, you take care of your assumptions, and based on that, getting consensus at the team level is very difficult. But it's very good to communicate with your customer, with your management, and with your other stakeholders. Yes, these
Yeah.
many days it will take, but
Yes.
within the team it's very difficult. And
Yes.
also, uh, if I am sizing today in story points, it will be the same after 1 month, after 2 months,
Yeah.
after 3 months. It will be same because amount of work is same. But
But ideal days is good.
in ideal days, it will decay because we get new learnings and we may develop it faster.
Hmm. Clear.
Yes. So these are the
I agree.
differences which are there in story points and ideal days.
But when we inform this to the management, they require only the ideal days. That is what I mean. Ideal days means like in the hours and the days, how much time will it take to complete this user story or a feature or something. So the management expect in terms of time. So as you said, like the story points would be helpful only to know the complexity of that user story. But again, that the story needs to be converted into the hours, like the time estimations, like into the time, like how much time will it take to report to the management. We need this answer as for an estimation purpose. Yeah,
Yes. So
that's what I have seen in
this is
real
the
time.
business problem. This is not a framework problem. So
Huh. Yes.
you have to come up with the solutions with as per your culture. Maybe you estimate in days, give a variable
Hmm.
factor to take care of risk. So if management needs only in days, then you can calculate in days, and at the team level you can go with story points, and
Hmm.
based on the expert judgment you have prepared in ideal days, and at the team level you can go with the pure sizing, right? Now
Hmm.
when you are in agile, it gives infrequent opportunities that how you are going with your assumptions, your estimations.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
and already you have to take care of risk, and accordingly you have added some range, some variable in the estimations, and when you move towards the work towards iterations, at the end of every iteration you get some slices, complete work. It will give you an idea that whatever you have assumed, whatever you have estimated, how you are going with it. So it will give an opportunity to the product owner to balance the work with the team and with the management, that how he can negotiate on what points, what he assumed, and what how the things are turning out.
Yeah.
Yes. So here expert judgment plays an important role, and
Yeah.
that expert judgment is validated and with the assumptions with validated with the work. It's different from waterfall where we get the product at the end, but here you are failing fast. If there are some errors, you can work with your stakeholders, your customers, your management, and your team based on the new realities. When realities
Okay.
surface early in agile.
Clear. Got it. Yeah.
So
I
any other
think we can
questions?
go to. Fine. I can go to the next question, right? Yeah. Just hold on a second. How to convert? That's. This is what. Okay. Particular estimate into cost and budget. Like for example, as you said, we'll be sizing that estimate into the story points. Okay. So now I need that estimate, that story point that needs to be shown in terms of this much of cost it's going to be happen for implementing this feature. So how do we convert like that for sure that requires an hours, like for these many hours, this much amount we have to spend, like you can say effort estimation.
Yes, here
The
again, expert judgment plays an important role, right?
expert judgment.
Yeah,
Suppose if I assume like that's a story, oh, there is a story, and I have given the story points, which is eight story points.
mhm.
So eight, I can't say directly. This is eight story point feature. Okay, so this is eight story point feature. Then how much cost it is going to be? Uh, it's going how much cost it is going to take takes place for implementation of this feature. How many days that is going to be taken? You
So
know, based
here
on
you
that.
are talking about the stage where the project has not
Huh.
been started, right?
Huh.
And
Hmm.
you need to give budget to the management
Quotation.
or
You have to
customer.
give a quotation for this thing.
You have to give the quotation. So how do
Yeah.
you do in your projects?
Generally, based on the complexity involved on the architecture design of current features and all.
Mhm.
With the expertise help, they will be defining these many hours, including the buffer. They will be saying like these many hours is going to be takes place for this for the implementation of this feature. So definitely the output will be in terms of hours or days. I mean, completely it will be in the hours only.
So is it working for you?
So I'm not. I don't say it's a working app because that is the reason I have many questions on this, because still they have some questions, because when we see the actual versus the estimated, always I'm able to see some gaps. Either
Yes.
there is a chance of estimating too much, yeah, or actuals may increase at the time because we never know the risk involved in it. Based on our assumptions, we'll be giving in estimations. For example, this consists of 4 days, 4 days, but in real it is taking more than 4 days.
So
Then
you
where
give
we are
in
lagging a
4 days.
lot.
You instead of giving 4 days, you can give like 4 to 6 days. So if you are giving in,
Somehow like that, like in middle of that, though it's there is a chance like to increase that 4 to 6 days, it may increase to 8 days because of the complexity or rework or change in the request or something. There are some scenarios of like that. Maybe the complexity, the lack of expertise in giving the estimations, these scenarios will be facing
so
generally.
yes. So these are all business problems or team problem.
Yeah.
The problem could be at the team level, could be at the customer level or at the business level, right?
Okay.
So we have to see that what is the root of the problem, and accordingly there could be many different approaches to deal with the situation, right? That there
Yes.
could be different situations like that.
What would you recommend if this is a
It's
scenario,
depending on
something
the
like
situation. It depends. There is no one solution because it's not a
solution?
framework problem, right?
Okay.
Yeah,
It's
because
situations.
we want predictability in estimation,
Hmm.
but we are using agile. Work is not
Yeah.
predictable. That's why we are using agile. We are frequently inspecting and adapting.
Yes.
Yes, and we need estimation so that we can uh, discuss okay, how much work it has. There are some assumptions, but we can compare one project to other project, one business benefits to other business benefit. That's why we need estimates,
Hmm.
but we cannot get estimates with 100% confidence because life is predictable. So the product development is. So
Yeah.
means life is not predictable. So how we can estimate with 100% confidence? Here we are using
Huh.
agile that whatever we have estimated based on available information, and customer is with us, management is with us. They have on the same ground, but in reality, it could be different. So
Obviously, suppose for
there could be
example,
different scenario that yes, customer understand it. There is some uncertainties are there, or customer doesn't understand it. That based on that.
I'll just have one question. I'll give you one scenario. Just please help me out in this. With this, actually, for example, I'm a product owner. Like there are two developers. One is having the 5 years of experience. Another one is having the 2 years of experience. So I have taken, but as per the process or as per the framework that we are following, we have to provide an estimation based on their expertise judgment. So definitely, I'll be taking the help from the experienced person and quoted quoted this X hours is going to take is going to be needed is needed for the implementation of this feature. Okay, but in the reality, for example, based on the experience person expertise judgment, I have taken X hours, like X hours, but this feature has given to the 2 years of experience person in real time, like while they're working on. Okay, but the person cannot complete that work within the given hours, right? So definitely he or she requires X+1 hours. So how do we have to handle this kind of a scenario in the agile?
See, I would like to ask you one question here. Forget about the IT industry. If we make our house, we make budget, right? I
Hmm.
will have 2 rooms, 1 kitchen, and all, and we get some quotation. We know that we are clear about it. What I want here, based on that, what material I'm going to use. Based on that, we get quotations. If we change
Yeah,
material, if we change specification, we cost changes accordingly. Why? Because
definitely.
we are focusing on value. We are not
Yeah.
focusing for what value I am going to receive. Based on that, we come up with the estimations. If value gets changed,
Okay.
my cost and budget gets changed. That
Has to
should
be
be the
changed.
focus. Now the business problems comes when the focus is shifted on the time rather than on the value.
Okay. Hmm.
Yes. So
Yeah.
here the challenge comes to the product owner. That's why we talk about that there should be one product owner who work with the team and with the stakeholders also. So whatever the
Hmm.
differences are there, he take care of it. How?
Yeah.
Based on that, based on the stakeholders' attitude, and
Hmm.
based on their expectations, he can give estimations, and he can go with the team level estimations, and he can balance it in
Okay.
at the team level means give it. You can give. It's just an approach, because right now we are not talking about the what agile says, what scrum says.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
And
Hmm.
because they are they focus on the value. They are not
Yeah.
focusing on the what are the business problems. You have to deal with it. You are product owner, you have to deal with this business problem based on the your different stakeholders, based on your team member
Hmm.
situations, what are their expertise, what are there. So when you are estimating initially, you take a representative team, like this kind
Hmm.
of means when you have to give in days, like you need to give budget first before
Hmm.
starting the product, because you don't have reference stories for the same work. And whatever representative team you are considering, you may not get the same thing.
Hmm. Yeah.
These are business challenges, and you have to deal with it based on your
Current
circumstances, your
situation.
organization culture. So here
Okay.
you there could be different ways to deal with these situations. For
Hmm. Hmm.
example,
Hmm.
your customer understands uncertainties, unpredictability, and based on that, you can come up with different solution. Right? Your customer doesn't understand, and you can come up with different solution. It depends,
Yeah.
right?
Okay.
So if your customer doesn't understand, and if that product getting that product is very important, especially for service industry, is very important, then uh, give an offer which makes a business sense.
Okay.
Whatever it means, if customer wants predictability, and you are working in unpredictable you are going to work on an unpredictable vision, then you know the vision, then how and what kind of work is getting done. There's no 100% confidence in it, then you have to some for example, you can take the help of a representative team, architect, database, and developers, and so you can have a discussion with them.
Hmm.
And if work is so unpredictable, you can ask them to estimate in story points, and then they can decompose them to some engineering tasks, though it's not suggested, but you have to get the balance between business and between your team. And then
Yeah.
they can get the idea, because they are not having an idea that this is the size. Okay, we are getting this size, but how much time will it take? Now you have representative team, and then for that you can ask to decompose in engineering tasks. An engineering task always in hours. So they can
Hmm.
they can assume, okay, this story point will move to those many hours. So in that way you can get
Okay.
some estimates, because you have to balance it. Though it's not suggested in Agile and Scrum, but we have
Hmm.
to deal with your issues. Or if when you are not getting the same team, then you as a product owner, you have to balance it with your business uh, promises, and with the at the team level, how you can deal with it. You need to negotiate with your management, you need to negotiate with the team level. That's why uh, uh,
Mm-hmm.
we give to estimation at two level, at the product backlog level, where it's pure sizing, right? And
Hmm.
then at the sprint backlog level, here we can decompose in engineering tasks, and we can come up with
Hmm.
estimation in hours. Why? Because here assignment is getting done, right? And if you need 2 hours, we have to give 2 hours. If I need 5 hours, I need to give
Okay.
5 hours. Now when team work together, and they meet daily, daily, that okay, how we are moving towards a business goal, which is there in term of short goal, in term of
Mm-hmm.
sprint goal, how we are moving. Now they self-organize, okay, if it is taking much time, I will help you. So overall, you
Yeah.
know the expectations of a sprint, of an iteration, and team find the solution themselves. This
Okay.
is the way. This is the way you balance the work of an iteration with the expectation with the stakeholders. And if there is some mismatch, product owner gets the clarity with each day, with each iteration, and he balances it with the stakeholders
Hmm.
and with the team. That's why we have one product owner. There is only one source of requirement to the team, product owner, because there is a need to balance.
So yeah. So as we see in the agile estimations, we do first sizing and effort, and then duration, right? So sizing can be directed towards to get the duration, right? For
When
example, the
we are at
velocity that we
a
can collect
product
it.
backlog level, when we are doing an
Uh-huh.
estimation in story points, we directly get duration. We are not
When
we are not considering efforts here, because we don't know who is going to work.
Okay, suppose if we don't know that who is going to work on the
Because yes,
particular
iteration level,
requirement, then
team
we
works,
had a, yeah.
team finds their solution and they pick the work. Because
Can you please
you
brief
may
me
get
out that
one team
scenario?
member.
One second. Now I just gather the requirements. My product backlog is ready
Mhm,
with set of requirements,
mhm,
right? Okay. This product backlog should be estimated.
mhm.
Okay.
Yes, yes,
So I really don't know like who is going to work on which item. I
yes,
mean, which item in the product backlog. But
yes.
still, I have to estimate this product backlogs completely.
In story points, we are estimating it because it's
Okay,
recommended.
so the first thing is like we'll be estimating in in the form of a story points, right?
Mhm.
Hello.
Yes, yes. I'm here.
Okay. Okay. So each requirement is going to be estimated in the form of a story points.
Mhm.
Okay. Now these story points, my management asked me that needs to be submitted in the form of an hours.
Yes.
So how do I can convert? Uh, like how I can put that estimations in the form of an efforts.
First of
You're
all,
getting my.
yeah, first of
Uh,
all, there should be an emphasis on the what value you are going to give it, right?
okay.
Yes, and you get an idea that how many releases it will take. Get an idea that how many
How many sprints it's going to take
releases
place?
and how many sprints a release particular release will have, right?
But
Right.
I'm sure that these are the requirements. These should be must-have requirements. I prioritized
Mhm.
because the product, yeah, these are the must-have requirements, and the product will not be launched if we don't have these requirements. Okay,
Yeah.
so these must-have requirements needs to be prioritized. As you said, like each thing should be estimated in the form of a story points, then it should be converted
I'm
into
not
the
saying it should be
duration.
estimated. And I'm saying
Okay.
it's recommended because it's a pure sizing.
Okay, sizing. So
It's pure
then it
sizing.
can. Okay, you just continue the flow. I just want to repeat it. That's it.
So
Yeah.
we have, as I told you earlier, that if management wants in hours, the we have to find our ways that how we can give in hours, because
Yeah.
as per Agile, well, the emphasis should be on the value, not in time. If budget is fixed, then the discussion should be towards that what you can complete within this budget. What's most
No.
important? Yeah.
Let's assume in this way, my budget is not fixed based on my estimations. They are going to allocate the budget, and then they'll approve that requirements to be developed.
Okay, then you have to investigate that what budget makes sense. You have to consider
Yeah.
the competition also. You have to consider, you understand your customer, you understand your organization, that how you can deliver it based on these are the factors, and based on that you decide and give a
Okay.
which makes a business sense.
Yes. So that means I'll
You
estimate
get
all my.
another detail if you are having some issue in predictability to the how this work will take and how much it will it cost, then takes helps of SMEs, some developers, testers, representative team, involve them and get estimates, include a variable factor, and come up with a budget which makes a business sense.
Okay. So which technique I can use here for an estimation? For doing an
It all
estimation.
depend on how you can win your product, and if still you can get some business benefits. It all depends on you. It's not a agile problem. It's not a framework problem. It's a business problem. You have to take care of your challenges. For
Okay.
this, for challenges, you have to understand your business, your organization, your team, your stakeholders. So it's not a small job. It's
Yeah.
if there is no
Maybe I'm
one
not
answer.
clear with you. I'm not putting my question in clear way, I guess. Like, sorry. So I just want to I want to estimate my product backlog. I'm still at the product backlog stage. My iterations have not been started, so I just want to size my product backlog. So okay,
Size
then
it,
I'll. Huh,
list all features, size them, and if you want to give in days, help
huh.
take the help from a representative team, ask them to
Okay.
decompose or get some expert judgment, add some variable to take care of risk could come from customers, risk could come from
Yeah.
level, based on that you add some buffer in it. It's not
Okay.
like, and come up with an offer which makes a business sense.
Okay. Is it
So
mandatory to go?
because if I want something, it
Hmm.
doesn't matter to me that how I am estimating. Story points, in story points, idle days, or some arts and all. It doesn't matter to me. This is my
Huh.
budget, and I will give this product development to the company who will give me the best value for money. That's my
Okay.
consideration. I am
All
not
right.
bothering about that what estimation I'm going to use.
Technique you are using. Yeah.
But
So
you
now
have
you can
challenges
say.
at the team level.
Okay.
Because a team has different expertise, team has different learnings, they have different circumstances, and you have challenge at the business level, right? Where they want best value for money, you want that product, and you have to balance it, and for that balance, whatever is needed, do it.
Okay, clear. Thank you. And now we are ready with the product backlog. Our product backlog got estimated. Now we are uh, going to the next step, which is a sprint iteration, like going for the first sprint.
Mhm.
So I just have prioritized a few requirements from the product backlog, and these are the sprint goal for this particular sprint. Okay, let's assume in this sense. So as you said, I just missed that point actually, sizing effort and then durations, right? Efforts. So when we are at the sizing stage, we'll be going towards the duration, not will be spending time on the efforts. Suppose for this, I need to put some efforts. Do I need to do the sizing first and then go for an efforts and then go for a duration? Is this as a sequence step, or else directly I can jump from effort to the duration?
See, we are already having estimation in size at the
Huh.
product backlog level, right?
Yes.
Now we are moving to the attrition.
Yeah.
Here we have some clarity. Here is some difference.
Okay.
Right? Because here we know that what is the team.
Yeah.
Who
How many
are
teams?
in the team and
Yeah.
who can pick that work. Suppose
Yeah.
I'm doing sprint planning meeting.
Hmm.
Initial assignments can be done there.
Yeah.
Right
Yeah.
now, I am picking one user story. I'm facilitating. I'm just giving an example. I'm facilitating sprint planning meeting. I ask who can do this work. They someone volunteer, right? I will do this work. Now, person is identified that who is going to do this work. Yes. So if I need 2 hours, I should give 2 hours. If I need 5 hours, I should give 5 hours. So here, here is a. It's good to go in efforts here because the person is identified. Person is getting assigned.
One point. So when the person is identified.
The duration.
All right. Okay.
Okay. And at the product backlog level, we get duration directly from the size. Based on that, okay, this is the trend that this work will be delivered by one sprint. And based on that, we get duration. That this product backlog needs these many sprints.
Sprints.
Right? And based on that, that is the duration with some variable factor.
Yeah. So from in the iteration levels, in the sprint levels, we'll be estimating for a particular sprint and we'll be defining the efforts needed for the particular sprint.
Yeah, because we are decomposing in engineering tasks. And assignments are there. So when assignment is there, then we can estimate in hours. Because so here there is no it's good that if these estimates are announced in public during sprint planning meeting, so the person is getting assigned, right, and hours are estimated, so there is some transparency is there. So if some issues are there, at the team level, if at the work level some issues are there and it's getting exposed during daily stand-up, they can figure out we have whatever we have assumed during sprint planning meeting. Now it's not going according to this direction. This may impact on so and so, and how we can resolve it. So facilitator can facilitate. Okay, this work is selected by him or her. Do you want any help? Are there any blockages? If it's it's evident that there are some blockages, so these problems or issues are getting taken care of within the team.
One last question. I just want to make it clear. At the product backlog stage, is there we are doing the sizing, not doing any effort estimations, because there is no transparency on like who is doing on which item, right? So is there something like that we can do on effort estimations at the product level stage, product backlog stage? No, right? Just want to clear that. That's it.
You can do it if it's working for you.
Okay, I don't think so.
It's working for you. So,
it's a good diplomatic answer. Thank you.
There is no to anything. If something is working for you, you can do it.
But
these are
it should be feasible with
these
options.
Are some challenges that same person doesn't work when we there are some risks. Some whatever we have assumed that so and so is going to work, he may move to a different product. He may leave to. There's many risks.
This is what we discussed. That experience levels.
That don't give the flavor of effort.
Yeah. at
because
the earliest stage.
because it doesn't matter to customer. You are developing it or I am developing it. I will get the same
And
value out of it.
that's it. Yeah.
And your cost is different. My cost is different. Why customer should suffer from it?
Yeah.
Yes. So
Exactly.
it should be managed at the team level. That's why we need team collaboration, self-organizing. They come
Yeah.
together. They see that how we are moving towards business goal.
Yeah.
That's why we have the training arrangements, learning arrangements, pair programming arrangements are there. So
Yeah.
these tools we use based on the business need.
Yes. That's true.
Yes.
Clear. I think you have answered all my questions. I guess we have discussed all the questions that we have addressed in the thread. Because I have just defined some situational questions. So we already discussed those questions when we are discussing the previous questions. Yeah, I think you have given the best in answering all these questions. Thank you so much, Seema. Yeah,
That's great. And yeah, it was nice discussion. Thanks for
yeah.
joining.
Thank you. Thank you so much for your time.